All right, so this is some new clay that I found. It fires white, but the problem is whenever I fire it, it starts to crumble after it's been fired. It leaves a lot of cracks, and it doesn't really seem like firing at a higher temperature is going to do anything for it. So what I'm going to try and do here is some tests. I'm going to do, this is clay that I know, that I found this clay, foraged this clay, and I know that it can fire at higher temperatures. It doesn't crack, it comes out really well, it has a really good burnish to it. This, on the other hand, is really workable, really easy to make stuff with, but when you fire it, it just crumbles. It doesn't feel very gritty or like it has a lot of temper, but I've thrown with it and it does. So I'm going to add this to this finer clay that fires well at a higher temperature, and hopefully this will act as a temper for this clay, and this clay will hopefully be able to mix in well with this and fire. I'll get the workability out of this white clay, and then I'll get a good firing out of this orange clay here. So I'm going to do a 50-50, a 25-75, and a 75-25, as in 50% of this is white, and then I'm going to do 25% white, and then I'm going to do 75% white, and add it all up with these, with this orange clay that I found, and just test some different mixtures and see what works best for it. All right, so I've got my 50 or 1-to-1. I've got 1-to-3, and this is 1 part of this gray white fired clay to 3 parts of the orange, and then over here I've got 3 parts of the white to 1 part orange. So 25% used on this one, 75%, 50% on this one. We're gonna mix them together and see the result. All right, I've got 75% white clay in here, 50% white clay in this one, 25% in this one. You can tell the change in color. I'm gonna make some test tiles, then we're gonna fire them, see how they do. Well, one of the test tiles I made broke last night. Had to leave it out at the fireplace, and one of the dogs got a hold of it, broke it. So now I only have this one and this one. This one's 1 part Diamond Hill to 3 parts incandescent or orange to white. This one's 3 part orange, 1 part white. All right, so I had to remake my 1-to-1 tile because one of my dogs ate it last night in the fireplace. So I've got 1-to-1 that is just freshly made. These dried last night, 3-to-1, 1-to-3. So I got a 50%, 25%, and a 30 or 75%. Yeah, so 25, 50, 75%. So yeah, we're gonna try and fire it today. I've got the kiln going right now, and it is stoked up pretty well here. So I'm gonna put these next to that guy. We'll get it heated up and see how it. All right, so it's been a few days since I fired these test pieces. Just found them in the kiln. They all fired well. So we have 25% of the orange clay. We have 50% of the orange clay, and then we have 75% of the orange clay. The white clay is the clay that I was trying to supplement with other clays to make it better. Here is a piece of the white clay that whenever it fires, it crumbles almost like chalk. And it's really light, and it sounds like chalk. It sounds almost kind of hollow, where this is 100% orange clay, has more of a ting to it. It's a lot harder to break, and it doesn't crumble as much as this piece does. I mean, even a small piece like this, I could probably, yeah, just pulverize it. Whereas you wouldn't be able to do that with this piece, or at least not as extreme. You know, you can get the edges off, but it's a lot harder. It's a lot denser. It's more like ceramic, this orange. So the test was to mix these and find some good ratios. So you can hear just the 25% added of this orange clay is still light, but has that more that ting to it. It's not as crumbly. Can't just, it's a lot harder for me to break it, and it just doesn't crumble like that other piece does, just with 25% added. I honestly think that 25% added would be good, but if I wanted to get the rigidity and hardness a little bit higher, then maybe the 50% would be better. And this one's actually kind of breaking a little bit easier than I thought it would. Maybe it's not fired all the way. Yeah, I can put my fingernail through it. So this one didn't really fire all the way through, but this is 3-to-1, so 75% of that Diamond Hill clay to 25% of that white clay, and they all burnished well. But this one, if it's fired all the way, which is still a little soft. The thing about the orange clay is that it takes longer to fire than this white clay. So that's something I'll have to keep in mind. But these fully fired, that's not even mixed all the way through. These fully fired, I believe, would have the consistency that I would need. So if I still wanted to mix these, I would take 25% of that orange clay and 75% of that white clay, and that would give me still a stronger vessel, while also shortening the firing time and giving me a little bit more plasticity and workability in the clay when I am throwing and molding. So this is just a way, like a guideline for you to test some of your other clays, mix them, and see some different results with them. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a comment down below and let me know. I appreciate you, and yeah, until next time.